shoulders should be, you know. Anywho, 2 things for y'all today. It is time for me to do a couch confession. It is time for me to do a couch confession, which I genuinely am not a fan of. I'm just letting you guys in on a secret. Like, I'm not a fan of the couch confessions, but had I known that the pain that I went through in life was going to be used for good to help somebody else feel not alone, shoot. You guys could have put me through this a long time ago. I didn't know. Anyway, had me going through pain for no damn reason. Anyway, that being said, I have 2 couch confessions for you to drop. Now, the first one is going to be a non-spiritual one. It's going to be just a regular one. And then the second half is going to be a spiritual couch confession, where I tell you guys some of my spiritual experiences and stories that I've had. So, that being said, well, let's get right into it. And I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes. I am trying. I'm trying. It is hard. Okay? All right. So I've been thinking about it all week, right? I've been really thinking about it, like going back and forth, really thinking about it. And I decided, oh my gosh, hold on, Roz, how are you guys feeling? How's everybody doing? How are you guys doing with those goals? How are you guys doing with your dreams? How are you guys doing with your health? How are you guys doing with your mental health? Because it is separate from the physical. Just how are you guys doing all together? I hope it is well. If it is not, please don't be afraid to reach out. You know, I got you. You need prayer, I got you. You just need a friend, I got you. Okay? And again, single moms out there, if you need help, let me know. I do that on my days off. Okay? Okay. Now let's get into it. So I've been thinking about it, and there's 2 couch confessions that I'm kind of like in between in my mind. One couch confession is going to be my business partner from hell, and how it taught me to be independent. And then my second option is going to be, how could I say this? My second option is going, how did I write it down? That's probably the best way to go. Okay, so my second couch confession is going to be my turnout story. Which is at a young, I think I'm just gonna do the turnout story. I don't like to discuss drama. So let's do the turnout story. So okay. This story is going to be sensitive for one of you to hear. It may trigger some, okay, it may be a trigger to some lesbians, but I don't mean it to be. Again, this is just an experience that I had. I've made it very clear I don't have a problem with y'all. Some of my own loved ones are lesbian, and I couldn't care less. Because like I tell everybody, is it your business or is it theirs? Are you their lover? So shut the hell up. Okay, so yeah, just a disclaimer. It may not offend, but it just may trigger you guys. And to the family, because again, they never know what I'm going to post or what I'm going to post about till it's out, like the rest of you guys. I'm good. Don't panic. Okay. Mom, it's okay. You still protected me. Okay? All right. So let's move forward. So this is going to be a couch confession, physical version first, of about the time that a girl that was a friend tried to turn me out early. I hope I said that right. So again, good old 8 years old. I'm just telling you guys, that was like the worst year of my life. Anyways, so actually I want to say, I feel like I should stop saying 8, but it really is the only thing I can like go back to. So anyway, I used to live on Carter. If you guys are in Brampton, you know what Carter is, Carter Street. All right. I used to have my local Indian best friend that lived like 2 doors down. Shout out to you. She was lit. And then I used to have a neighbor just before her. Now, single mom. They lived in the basement apartment, and it was her brother, and her mom. She had a younger brother who I actually had the biggest crush on. Wow, prime thing, young age, looking at boys. Anyways, yeah, I actually I had a little crush on him. He was actually my first kid. I'm exposing myself. My brother doesn't even know that. My mom doesn't even know that. That was my first kiss ever. My mom knew though. Okay, quick little story. Okay, so okay, because she was like my friend, she was older. I usually hang out with older people naturally, which is odd because anytime I've been in a bad situations, because I was the old. Anyway, okay, yeah. I'm gravitated to mature people. I'm gravitated to people who've been through life that can give me knowledge, and that draws me in. So anyway, she was like my brethren to me, right? So I felt like, okay, you know, like even though I have a crush on her brother, like I gotta keep it on the hush because like that's my friend, that's her brother, right? Look at me thinking I was big at a young age. Anyways, so oh my god, I hope I don't blush. This is so embarrassing, awkward. Okay, so I just remember like he came over to the house, we were all playing, and then it was getting late, so time to him to go over. So my mom was like, hey, you know, you need to go home, Mel needs to eat dinner. And I used to have this big tree. Carter used to have a big tree in front of it. They cut it. I don't know friggin' why. It was like the best part of that house. Now the house just looks bare and dull. Anyway, yeah, it was this big tree in front. And I remember I walked him. I was like, hey, Mom, I'm gonna walk him out. And I walked him out. And of course, like my age, our mom was probably watching. Like, I don't know why I didn't think about it. And we like walked out. And then we were both walking beside each other, and we got under the tree. Yeah. And he just kissed me. And I was like, oh. Oh my gosh. Now that I look back, I'm really shy when it comes to the opposite sex. It's like, it's bad. Like by looking at me and the way I step in the room, you would feel like, okay, I can't talk to this girl. No, you probably can, and I'm just nervous. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I remember coming into high all proud, like, you know, like, yeah, I got a kiss from a boy, cool. And I remember my first thought being like, oh my god, I cannot tell my brother, he'll kill me. And then my second thought was, do I tell my mom? I remember like questioning, like, do I tell my mom? Anyways, I found out that she knew later on. She knew. It was awkward. Anyways, I wasn't in the couch confession. So, all right. So, yeah, this is her younger brother. Okay, so she's my friend. I'm going to call her Kay because I don't drop names, okay? So, Kay. She was mad cool. I kind of looked up to her because she was older, and she still like likes to play with me, and she was like really chill. Like even at a young age, I remember her personality. Like she's very chill, she's very outgoing, and I'm adventurous. Like as much as I'm shy, like I want to dive in that water. I want to go into that pathway of course people think looks creepy and see what's back there. Like I'm like adventurous that way. Like I want to try it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it, right? Okay. Not an adrenaline junkie. Hell no. My heart will stop. So anyway, that's a fact. Anyways, so this particular day she comes over to play, and it's a regular day. We're all like, it's normal, like whatever week. I come home, we play, cool. So we're playing and stuff, and I don't know, like, okay, first, let me just say this. People are big products of their environment, how they move, what they do. And sometimes it may seem really frigged up, but you kind of have to understand the person's mental and where they were coming from. Okay. When I look back at this story, I don't judge her. I'm not angry with her. I don't think she's like nasty or nothing like that. I just feel like she was curious and she was a product of her environment, and I guess she thought I was a chill candidate. Okay. So again, product of their environments, and like, I don't know, her house was mad different. Like, I understand why she liked to come to my house. Like, my house, I guess, seemed more normal, which people would think, which you guys now know behind closed doors was never normal, but we made it look normal. Yeah. I don't know if that's why she liked to come over a lot, but I remember, like, going over to her crib and it just feeling different. It's like, kids are not supposed to be here. That's how I used to feel. But I was that kid where it's like I'd seen things, you know, and been places that most kids aren't always. So it was, you know, it was just another. So I remember like we would go over her house sometimes. This one day in particular, it happened multiple times, but we went over her house and she was like, I wanted to get something to drink. And I was like, cool, me too, because we were thirsty. And we both like went down the stairs because we're in the basement apartment. We go on the stairs and we're walking by and her mom's door is just wide open and she's just getting slapped up by her man. As like young kids, I'm just walking through and I'm like, bum. They do this all the time. Like I remember I like just being like, oh, okay, just like walking by, doors wide open, like it's nothing, you know? Just like she was just a product of her environment. Like she was just a product of her environment. There's a lot of stuff that like that's their business. Anyway, so this particular day now that you guys kind of have like a background, this particular day now she comes over to my house, everything's playing, we're normal. We're in the garage. But like, I don't know, it just felt weird to me. Like I kick it with her all the time, but this day just felt odd. Like I don't know how to explain. Before really frigged up things have happened to me, I always had a weird feeling in my gut, which is my intuition. I ignored it because I didn't have enough knowledge or I wasn't studying enough to understand. Now I understand. But when I was younger in my teens and stuff, I didn't understand. So people got away with a lot of stuff, you know, because I would ignore my intuition. That's a no now. Don't ever. So I just remember like it felt weird. My abilities were way more heightened when I was a kid. That's all. I'm getting into that couch confession. It just felt weird. And she laid down a blanket. So we're in a garage. Remember that. Why is this thing in my eye? We're in a garage, right? And like she just all of a sudden like lays out this blanket. I didn't even know where the blanket came from. I don't remember even seeing her walking in with the blanket. I don't even know if it was like one of our blankets. Like, I don't know. But she's laid the blanket down on the ground. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I guess we're playing like house. Like, this will be a room and we're playing house. That's my first thought. Kids are so innocent, man. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, maybe she's just like, we're gonna play house and she's just like, you know, making the room and this will be the bedroom. Sometimes we did that. This is the bedroom, this is the kitchen, like, you know, stuff like that. And she's like, lay down with me. And I'm like, okay, like, I guess we're playing house. So I like lay down beside her all stiff, you know. And what are you gonna play? Am I the baby? Like, am I the mommy? Like, asking, right? And you have to forgive me because this is where my memory starts to get cloudy. And I can't tell, I haven't really learned yet if it's cloudy because I'm blocking something out or if it's cloudy because I knew it was wrong. Yeah, anyway, so we're laying down and she like brings her hand like over slowly to me and it's like on my thigh at first, right? Why do I feel like I want to cry? That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, so she like puts her hand on my thigh at first, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. And like, to me, like, everything is okay because like my mom is just inside. Like, she's just inside the door. I think she was in the kitchen or something like at the time. But she knows Case and she like knows her with me. So like she wouldn't come and like constantly be checking on us, you know? Yeah. So her hand was on my thigh. And then I remember, I don't know, it gets foggy, but I just remember like then her hand being on my parts, like on my vagina. Why do I feel like I want to cry? It's so weird. I've told this story so many times. What the hell? Yeah. So now she's like touching me. And as a kid, it didn't feel good. It just felt confusing. Like, I just felt very like, is this bad? Is it good? Do I scream for my mom? No, she's my friend. Why do I feel like crying? Yeah, it was just very, the hell? It was just very, I still don't know. Like, I still don't know till this day, okay? And then I remember her, it's like, this is when I clicked that something was like wrong. I remember her being like, she moved her hand. She didn't penetrate or anything like that I could recall. It was just odd. Like I said, I was young. My feeling, in my brain, it was just odd, you know? And I remember thinking, like, are my other friends doing this? Maybe because she's older, she's like showing me, you know? So upset. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm feeling such waves of emotion while explaining this story. I've told this story before. What is going on? What? Yeah, so this is why I knew something was off, because then she goes to me, okay, now you touch mine. And it's like a switch went off in my head, and I was like, no. Like, even though I was like confused and she already touched me, I just remember being like, no. And as soon as I said like no, she was just chill with it. It was like, she was like, oh, okay. And then I remember her getting up. And it wasn't like I had to pull my pants or anything. Like, she put her hand like in my pants. It wasn't like I had to pull up my pants or anything. Like, I just stood up too. And I remember being like, I don't want to play anymore. Yeah. I don't want to play anymore. And she was like, okay, cool. And we like folded the blanket together. So foggy. We like folded the blanket together. And she left. And I remember I went inside and I didn't say anything to anyone for years. Years. I mean, like, into like my late 20s, years later. And I don't know why I'm emotional about it, because when I have spoken about this before, people have asked me, like, do you feel like you were assaulted? Do you feel? And I'm just like, I don't want to say yes, because again, like, that was my friend, and like, we were young, and it is foggy. Like, I'm being very honest, it's foggy. Like, I'm sure there's more details to it, but I just can't grasp it. And just like, I don't feel like she was a bad person. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. And it's weird because sometimes I almost wish I could run into her again just to like have the conversation. But I go, I'm not even mad at you. I know that probably sounds weird. I just want to know what happened. You know? Before you came to my house that day, like, what was your thought? What did you see? Like, did you see something at home? Like, because again, I knew she was a part of her environment. Like, I knew that, like, I knew why she was coming to my house. Like, because I've been to hers. Like, I understood. Like, it's weird in here. Like a brothel in here. Like, I understood. I don't know. But I also didn't know I was going to be emotional. It's really, that really threw me off. I don't know if you guys tell, I'm kind of like shocked by myself right now. But, yeah. So after that, like, I'd seen her again and we just played stuff and we just never spoke about it again. But I remember after that day, and this is why, like, I don't know. I'm very protective with kids and stuff and their sexuality and stuff like that, because I remember thinking to myself, by myself, am I supposed to be with a girl? I thought I was supposed to be with a boy. It was really confusing. But you could ask my family, they would have never known that I was struggling or even had a question, because I just showed them like boy crazy, like a natural girl going through her boy phase. Because I didn't tell anyone. I say it a lot and you guys probably like, okay, I talk a lot and it has that perspective, because I make myself open for my raws, and I make myself open for you guys that may need it, and I make myself open. But like, there are so many dark, sad moments of my life that I've kept to myself. Yeah. And that was one of them. And like, it wasn't even like that dark to me. It was just confusing. It was really confusing. And that's why I could never, like, until I realized, oh, okay, yes, I'm straight. Until I could actually like realize that for myself, which I had officially learned. This is gonna sound insane. My family doesn't even know this. I had officially learned that I was I was only supposed to be with men when I lost my virginity. And that probably sounds like, wait, what? It's like I was like, oh yeah, okay, no, this is what I like. This is what I like. Oh boy. Oh man. Sorry, I'm just, yeah. Yeah, so now I was like, oh, okay, this is what I met her what I like. Okay, cool, I'm not confused. But had you asked my boyfriend at the time, he probably would have never been able to tell you that I didn't know yet. Like, it's just, things that happen to you as a kid can really affect your thoughts and your process forward. And you gotta just work through it to know who you really are. Sometimes tests come to you and forms people you look up to. Like, I looked up to her. She was so cool to me. And sometimes the person that you look up to, or the person that you feel like is your guide or your leader, or somebody that, you know, you could look up to, sometimes they are your biggest enemy. Sometimes they are your, sorry, this is not coming for me. Okay, so just flow. Sometimes they are your biggest enemy. Sometimes the person that you think is going to protect you is the one that's hurting you behind closed doors, making plans to hurt you, but smiling in your face every day. Sometimes the people that you think that, this sounds so like, this is bugging me because, okay, I gotta finish it and then I'll talk. Sometimes the people that you trust, you can't. Sometimes it's just, I was always taught that I don't need to worry about no friends. I don't need to worry about keeping them close. But my enemy, yeah, they are to be right under me. Like this. And they don't need to know it, that I know. That's something I was taught young, and it stayed with me. And I utilize it all the time. Okay, the individual I'm supposed to be helping is somebody that is currently confused. You're confused. I get that. I get that. I wasn't even like completely fully with a woman, and I get that. Study you. That's what I would tell you. Study you. And don't be afraid to tell yourself that you are confused. The word is confused. Okay? There's no other word. It is confusion. You are confused. I'm being told to emphasize confusion. Thank you. You are confused. Okay? You're confused. I was confused. You're not alone. As you know, I was confused from like 8 to 10 range up until my late 20s. I dated guys. Never dated a girl. It was just always a thought in here of, am I supposed to be doing that? Like, am I supposed to be doing both? And another situation would come later on. Was it this year or last year? I want to say this year. That I'll be sharing in a different couch confession, which is when a couple attempted to make me their unicorn. And, you know, I would have hated myself before for the story that I'm going to share that when I share that couch confession. I would have hated myself for that experience, but I didn't, because it further let me know that I was not confused at all. Strictly dickly. Okay, so yeah. Okay. But yeah, you have to just study yourself. Be honest with yourself. Let yourself know that you're confused. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. I tell you guys this all the time. Okay. Yes, I'm digging boo out my nose. We're human. Talk to someone. Okay. I've spoken to counselors about this before, and I kind of probably got the courage to actually say it out loud, because again, I didn't say anything. I just, for years. Yeah, that's all I get from that. So if you're confused, you're not a horrible person. You're not sick. Again, my mom is heavily involved in the church. And I mean, it was terrifying for me to even think to go to my mom and be like, yeah, I think I'm confused because this happened. Like, you know, And again, like, when I say confused, I don't want you to feel like no, I'm gonna stand on it. I don't know why I'm trying to punk out of it. Yeah, I was confused. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be finding girls attractive or guys attractive, but I just knew I was more on the guy side. But from this experience from my friend, I was like, I didn't like it at all, but is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Is everybody doing, I don't know, everybody doing this? We just, you do girl to girl too? Like that. Moving on. All right, guys, I'm going to see you in the second one, which is the part 2, which is going to be the spiritual couch confession as I go take off this white stuff from my gloss. Disgusting. I hate when gloss does that. But yeah, guys, I always tell you guys 2 things, and that is spread love. You guys saw me go like this, right? Okay. So that I always tell you guys 2 things, and that is spread love and always keep it raw. And this was Couch Confessions with MELO Physical Edition. I'll see you in the spiritual.